All
Good
right.
morning. So weird to say good morning
Mm-hmm.
at this hour.
Happy breakfast.
It's 9 a.m. here.
Holy shit.
Wow.
God dang.
He's drinking some coffee. I'm drinking some beer. It's a good mix. I love it. Okay. So we're going to get started today right away. So we start on time-ish. I'll go over quickly resume of last week, and then we'll sort of dive into it. So last week we started the night at the tavern, the Lucky Lady. While there, you guys sort of settled in. Gerald started to perform. Gerald, did you tell people what you saw? Yeah. You shared your experience with some of the people you did with Buckles and some other people, but while Gerald was performing, he sort of had a vision or some kind of thing, faded to black, and he met what we learned to be a fae named Thea. Okay. After that, you guys sort of drank. While there, entering into the room, this large cow. I'm still sticking with a tiny thing, just forever, even if he's huge. Cow walked in, who's been looking into some sort of demonic sort of things happening in the area, and you guys proceeded to force him to drink, which made him pass out. You dragged him up to your rooms, and during the night, you guys were awakened by a break-in into your room. Two assailants had broken in. They tried to escape. You held one down. He took a poison pill and killed himself. And the other one made it out the window, but then was put to sleep. Then you had two hellhounds spring up. The hellhound killed the other assailant while he was asleep. Second hellhound showed up, and you guys managed to defeat them, although they breathed a whole bunch of fire all over the place, kind of burnt the side of the building, broke the window, and did all that jazz. So overall, a interesting night. The guards showed up, told you they would secure the place. You guys said great, and proceeded to go back to sleep with you're so exhausted that you forgot about the dead body in your rooms, and you passed out. Buckles also had the joy of expressing his character to most people, which is fun. That's where we kind of stand at this point. So everyone went to bed. You'll all get your full rest. So make sure you applied your full rest. There, and you're gonna wake up. It's gonna be around 10 in the morning as you start to wake up. Now, before we get into that, we're gonna do a small little one-on-one with. Just gonna start with something that happened at night. So, Saren.
Yep.
After all this goes down, you fell asleep. Okay. And during your sleep, you see, this light, and it starts to, you think you're awake, you think it's daytime, and you look around, and it's kind of weird, it's kind of fuzzy, you're not really understanding what's going on. And you start to focus, and you just hear, "Good job." And you sort of feel relaxed, you feel good, a sense of awe comes over you, and you sort of hush back to sleep. And the rest of the night goes sort of unannounced, sort of troubled. Nala, you also, while sleeping, have a dream. You feel like you're cold and it's dark, and you don't really know where you are. You seem to be confused. You're not sure if you're sleeping or awake, and you just feel like you're choking, and you struggle around. You can't move, you can't flail, and you just get cold, and you start to sweat, and you're thrashing, and then everything just kind of fades, and you sort of wake up briefly in the middle of the night, sort of looking around, sort of realizing you're in an inn again, and you sort of look around and everyone else is sleeping, and you go back to sleep. And then this morning, so you guys all wake up. Sort of 10 a.m. The sun's coming in. You guys have slept. It's actually pretty sunny now. Artie and who else was in the room? It was remind me again, who was crashing with Artie? It was Saren, right?
Yeah.
You look, the body's gone. But nothing else in your room has been sort of changed.
Housekeeping does a really good work around here.
Okay. Are you guys doing anything before you sort of head down to the sort of main central area report? Okay, so you guys get up, you congress, and you all sort of head down to have breakfast. The bar offers some eggs and bacon and some thick bread. It's a little burnt, but it smells fine. There's also some leftover like vegetable stew left over from the night before.
Dalen's probably going to come down last, and he's going to hold his head, and he's like trying to put on his armor. He's getting down like, hey, morning, guys, and his eyes are closed, and he can't see anything. And he takes the full 10 minutes to take on his armor.
I just rub his back. You'll work through this. Don't worry.
Oh, is this alcohol you all drink? Is this? I mean, the feelings you get when you're drinking it's nice, but the feelings after, ooh.
Just when you're not used to it.
I see. I'm totally not used to this. Definitely. I think I probably won't drink for a while.
That's a smart choice.
You know what would really help though right now is another drink.
Oh no, thanks. No, thank you. You go right ahead. 2 weeks later, woohoo!
All right. So, innkeep, can I get some eggs, bacon, have bread, and is there any of that leftover vegetable stew from last night?
Coming your way. Anybody else?
How much would that be?
It's included in your night. Breakfast and red is included.
Vegetable stew for me, please.
Bacon and eggs. And a bit of that bread.
Oh,
All the burnt bread.
Bacon and eggs and just a wee bit of golden ale. Just the light stuff.
All right.
Gotta start the morning off right?
Do you happen to have any milk?
Yeah, we got some goat's milk for you. Not a problem.
Build strong bones.
Man, goat's milk much more common than cow milk everywhere else. It's horrible.
Yeah, I'm just eating like a savage, just crunching all my bacon and putting in the eggs and just mashing them up.
So the waitress takes your order. Susan comes by and drops her food off and heads off back to the kitchen. She's pretty busy. She looks at you guys after dropping off your food and says, "Just took care of the issues, and thank you, Gerald." She sort of swoons at you for being such a lass and agreeing to take care of the repairs. We really appreciate it. And she gives you one of those big sort of winks and grabs your shoulder sort of and pats it twice and walks off. Wink.
Oh, thank you. No problem. Kind of uncomfortably says and just gonna lean over to like who's to my right.
It's a circle table. It's really however you guys want it to be sitting. Big enough to fit all you guys. Who do you want to be sitting next to? Your pick.
You know what? I'm gonna roll. How many people do we got here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yeah, we're 7.
Okay. Just gonna roll a
d8.
Yeah, and just 8, just a reroll.
No, 8 means nobody sat next to you.
Or it's the raccoon.
It could be the raccoon too.
Who's first on my list? Actually, it's Andy's character.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you're sitting next to Andy then.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or she might seem to maybe be a bit too friendly with me?
Well, you all are pretty friendly. It's nothing wrong, is there?
Yeah, just kind of get an odd feeling from her.
I look at her. Do I sense? Does she look weird or anything? No.
No, I mean, as far as you can see, she looks like a normal sort of mid-40s sort of busy barkeep.
Nothing that I can tell. And I just pat him on the back. Perhaps the alcohol is getting to you too.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I mean, I can barely see anything. I'm looking around.
You know what? There's an expression they say when you've had too much.
Really? What is it?
Some dog hair will make you feel better. Something like, when you're drunk, the dog that bit you or something like that.
I've never heard of that. But I will
pull out some hellhound fur. Here, try this.
That's my bad.
Oh, very nice. Thank you, my friend.
So I guess I'm just gonna eat.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look at the rest of the group and go. So after this demonic business that you're after, what's your plans for today?
I feel like we should go and see if we can find some of those other caravans that came in with missing people and, ask some questions, see about their routes. I mean, our route was specifically designed to capture people, so what's to say theirs wasn't?
Man,
should also
market would be
find-
the. Sorry, go ahead.
I was thinking we should also find Court. He did ask for us to meet up with him after we're done.
I think he's staying at the Ye Old Dog.
Well, I mean, a couple of us can go inquire, a couple of us can go speak to him. We are a pretty big group right now, so it's not like we need all our manpower just to go questioning around the city, do we?
You say that,
Yeah, I mean,
but look what happened last night.
That's true. That is true.
well,
Do you think they would try something in the middle of the day, though?
No, they
no.
seem to quite sound mind. They sound like old folk.
I mean, they are a cult though, and they, hidden caves and try to kill us in the middle of the night. I'm not sure if they're trying to bring too much attention to themselves.
I don't
I could be
know.
wrong.
A couple of hellhounds, if we hadn't have taken care of them, would have done extensive damage to the city, left unchecked.
But I was planning on heading to the market anyway, for a few things.
Well, I'll take whoever decides to take lead here. I would like to get moving, honestly, and see about, tracking new trails. But if you guys have things that need to be done, then let them be done.
Well, I mean, I can't see why we can't do both. Lots of times merchants are more likely to talk if, people buy things from them.
Who has that magic symbol, by the way? Magic symbol, that's like the cultist symbol. I think a few of us do.
Buckholz, you have the
I've got one.
the one, yeah. The paper though, or the steel.
I have the seal. I believe the tiefling has the paper. Is it still there?
I never did check my bag to see if it was there.
Oh.
Do I have a seal from when I picked the guy's pocket?
Yep.
I know I got the pill. So
you
I'll have
you
one?
didn't. No, you didn't get one off the corpse. So there was 2 found in the cave, right? I think Buckles got
Right.
one, and somebody else got one. 2 or 3.
Okay.
I think there were 3.
Okay, because like I remember. Okay,
There was one, but it's not.
there was one. Where?
There was one. It started to smoke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was on the dead body, right?
Yeah.
I took from the pockets of the guy that got put to sleep. And then you said the thing came from inside of him, so with that, I had the symbol at that time.
Right. So you still have it then, yes.
Okay. So I have one.
Should
So
we?
Are we splitting up or are we staying together?
Do we have any good leads on these disappearances yet?
Well, the other 2 caravans, I believe we're staying at 2 different ends.
Yes. We were told by Juth that there were 2 caravans and where to find them. Well, the remainder of them.
Perhaps we should go do that then.
Which ends?
I mean, if anything, we could go to all 3 places.
It is early morning. Perhaps we should just all move together for now.
Yes, let's do that.
Done.
All right then.
So I guess it'd be deciding where to go first. We could go to the Ye Old Dog to find Court, or we could find one of the other 2 ends.
Perhaps whichever is the nearest.
Maybe we should ask the barmaid.
Well, out of question. Well, out of game question. Do the markets open up as soon as sun rises, or is it a bit more of an afternoon thing?
They start to come in and set up, right? So like they're not, the majority of the markets are pull-ups, tent things, for at least the one that you guys visited. So, you know, people like sort of would get into town, start setting up when the morning hits. I would say by, let's say, a little before noon, they're sort of starting to swing underway, and by lunchtime is when it really sort of swings into gear. And they're open till dusk, and at dusk they sort of start pulling their stuff down.
All right, well, markets here really don't open up till, later by lunchtime, so maybe we should go to these inns first and then hit the marketplace by around lunch.
Well, the sooner we get to the inns and talk to their survivors, the better, because they'll all probably have things to do, lives to live. They'll want to move on as soon as possible, so that makes sense. Let us head to one of these inns then. Does anyone know which inns, or should we maybe see about going to the guard captain and having him escort us to one of them?
You guys,
One of them was like at Ye Old Dog.
so you guys remember there are 3 inns that were mentioned. Ye Old Dog Pug was where Court, the silver-haired elf, half-elf, that was on your trip with you. There's also the Snoring Serpent, which was the caravan that came from Heinstad. They are staying there. Heinstad's to the south. And then there was the Fabulous Crow, which was the other inn where the caravan from Stolar was staying, or what's left of them.
Okay. I turn to the bar keep and I ask her whether she knows like how close the Snoring Serpent or the Fabulous Crow or whatever it is, which one would be closest to here.
So you flag down Susan. Susan looks at you and she goes, I can't remember, Lassie, but I do have a map here somewhere. I don't use it that often. I can part with it if you guys want for 2 gold, and you can sort of look around. There might be some indications on there. I'm not familiar. I got a place to run. She's kind of busy. Does that work for you guys?
Yep, done.
Perfect. So she hands you the map of the city, and
Sweet.
So based on how do I ping things? Can you guys see now the map?
Yeah,
Yep.
if you like hold and click on something, it does
Awesome.
that.
Okay, so down here, this purple thing here, this is the market. Okay.
Okay.
you guys are staying in this area over here.
Okay.
Okay. The other places of note down in this area is where a lot of the crafting is. That's where Buckhold's discovered sort of his little space.
Okay.
The fancier shops that you guys visited as well, or some of you visited, are in this area. The nicer to do sort of being on the sort of east end of the river. The sort of main castle is in the, or main city is here. Look at you doing that. That's the market. So there's more bars in this area and some of the cheaper ones in this area. So how do I do that wonderful thing of making oh, look at that. Okay, so you guys I don't know how to type and not hold it.
Oh, you have to hold it and type it. Yeah.
That's so annoying.
Yeah.
That's the lucky lady. I don't know how to make things bold, but just make things big.
Maybe give it a different color in the font.
Somebody else likes scrolling up and down. That's cool. I tried that. Can you see pictures too? Okay. Anyways.
Where?
This is the snoring serpent is in this area. It keeps resetting when people. Oh, there we go. And the other one is down along here. This is the Fab ULOUS Pro is here. And then we have over here, we have the Fins Fabulous Things in this area. And this is the keep. Okay. As we go, if you ever need to reference the map, you guys can.
All right.
So again, the sleazier, sort of cheaper places tend to be on the west. The up higher end stuff is up sort of to the east. The stuff outside the walls tends to be a little bit more shady. But the city's growing, right? So it's kind of expanding past the walls. It's filled to the point of bursting, and it has started to expand on the main city roads out past the walls now because they just can't fit in the city anymore. So, where are you guys headed? You want to go to and the Old Dog Pub is up in this sort of district by the river. Old Dog. Up here.
The Snoring Serpent seems like it's the closest to us, and then we can make a circle and go down to like the Fabulous Crow, past the market for those who want to partake, and then up to the Ye Old Dog.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Fine with that.
Alrighty, then let's head out.
All right. So,
Just right as everyone's heading out, I want to speak to the innkeeper.
okay.
I just, do you have any empty barrels?
Empty barrels. Probably.
Yeah, preferably one that can hold maybe like 20 gallons of.
Yeah, I mean we do. I might have some empty pint barrels. They haven't been cleaned out and shipped back in. Maybe have some grain barrels, one or two that are empty.
That's fine. Would you mind parting with one?
Yeah. Yeah. You could buy one. Sorry. It could be 2 gold. So, who paid for the map, by the way?
That's what I was wondering. How are you splitting that? I'll go 5 silver in for it if somebody else wants to. 3 other people want to pick up on it.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
Okay. So we need 1 other person to pony up 5 silver.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay. She says the barrel's 3 gold. If you want one. I've got
Sure,
one
I'll
for
take one.
grain.
All right. Listen, I'm not gonna take the barrel with me. You can maybe keep it around the back of the stage, if you would.
Around the back of the stage. Okay.
Mhm.
We can do that. Is this for Gerald's show? I assume. I'm always impressed. I will bring it over.
Something like that.
I assume we'll see you tonight for the entertainment.
Absolutely.
Okay. Best luck. Have a good day. We will see you later.
And away I go to the party.
All right. So, you guys making your way to the Snoring Serpent, correct? Okay, so you move sort of down sort of the main road here, along this sort of road here, and you sort of head up. The serpent's in this little square, sort of right over here. So you make your way up to the serpent, and you see, after following the map and looking, and the map's not perfect again, it's not as detailed as this, but you get a good idea of some key points on there. You head to the Snoring Serpent, and you do find it. It's just this picture of this snake wrapped around a drunk guy's sort of body as he's sleeping. It's kind of seedy. It's not great. It definitely wouldn't be your first pick of inn, but it doesn't look like you'd necessarily be robbed. It just looks very run down, sort of dirty, made for people with not a whole lot of money there staying in the city. It's close to sort of the outskirts of things like that. So, you guys heading in?
Yep.
So you head on in, and the bar is dark, even though it's probably about 10:30 now in the morning. There's some old something on the kettle. Kind of smells a little bit burnt, probably leftovers from yesterday that's still kind of just simmering on this giant sort of iron pot. And there's like a passed out guy in the corner, and there's a sort of this old sort of half-toothed 40-year-old guy with sort of like balding hair, but never could get over the fact that he wants to be in a metal band, so he's got like long hair, but just sitting behind the bar like he's trying to polish something, but the cloth he's using is probably as dirty as the stuff he's polishing, so it's kind of a counterintuitive process. He's just sitting there just sort of worrying about his life and bad choices he's
Marae
made.
turns to the group and we're not staying here tonight, that's for sure.
He looks over as you guys approach and cocks an eyebrow and goes, "What can I get for you? Room? Food? We got some stuff. What do you need?"
We're actually looking for a group of travelers. They recently came in by caravan.
Traveler. Singular. That's all that's left
Singular.
of poor little Ivan's group.
Ivan's group.
Yeah.
Could we speak to them? Are they here?
Ivan's there in the corner. He's still... if you can wake him up, maybe.
Well, we'll certainly try. Thank you.
Okay, that'll be... What are you drinking? This is... You can't just stay here. What are you having?
Give me some ale.
Ale's around. Okay. That'll be 5 copper. Don't stink me on it.
None for me, please.
And
I'll just drink his.
yeah, I just take it. I'm not gonna drink it, but I'll pass it off to Nala afterwards.
I'll gladly take it.
He pours you a pint of a dark ale. It's actually not horrible. Obviously people come here to drink it. Doesn't taste like piss water. They definitely go through enough of this stuff that it's not as bad as you would expect from a place like this.
Okay. Can I get one for the sleeping guy too?
Sure. There you go. 10 copper.
Okay.
He sits there and takes your money and he bites each coin, looks at them, throws them in his pouch, and sort of goes back to polishing his glass, which you notice is not the same glass he gave you, the one he had in his hands.
Okay, good.
Does it really matter?
So you, in the corner, you see this, what seems to be sort of larger fellow. He looks from what you can see, kind of run down, not a lot of hair, pretty pale in complexion, snoring loudly, sort of head on like the bar stool, body on the ground kind of deal, sort of like one of those low stools, like he's just like it's like a really
He's a
drawn
bit
out snore.
He's comfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put a blanket over him by taking out my crocodile.
You take out your crocodile, and you realize that this thing is now starting to smell really badly.
Yeah, maybe not.
I think he'll scare him if he wakes up.
Are you going to proceed to lay the decomposing crocodile corpse onto the...
Nah, we're lucky.
Hey man, I just want to make sure we're understanding the full extent of what your plan was.
I'm just gonna hold it up the whole time.
You see him, he sort of... Like, everyone in the bar gets a whiff of it. The bartender looks at you guys, because, like, this thing is now, I'd say about 4 days old, and you haven't done anything with it, really. It's just been in your bags. So it's definitely, like, it's been hot. So
Just some smelling salts. Don't worry about it. We'll get him awake.
it sort of stumbles out and looks
Really
at you
helps with the
guys,
hangover.
goes to stand up and
No,
goes,
it's fur from a dog that helps with the hangover.
Oh.
so...
You throw that out after we leave. Please.
Okay.
Leave it right outside the door.
Yes. That'll...
Alright. So...
We might as well light it on fire as well while we're at it. I mean, put it in a paper bag and just light it on fire, why don't we?
Whatever you guys want to do. Okay, so Ivan, so now waking up by this wonderful aroma, proceeds to vomit straight at you guys because he's been drinking, and the smell of this rotting gator flesh is just too much for him. And he sort of goes off to the side. Doesn't actually get you guys right in the face.
Morning.
Oh, you must feel awful. I just hand over my bar of special lavender and eucalyptus soap. It's here. Smell this.
He gets vomit on it.
He sort of looks at you and sort of doesn't know what to doesn't take the soap, just kind of stares at you. He goes, "What do you guys want?"
I hand him the beer.
See, this is a lady who knows what she's doing. Takes the beer, wipes off some puke, and just like downs it. What do you want? You got 5 minutes of my time for this beer. What do you need?
We're here to inquire about your travels to Everlook. We heard that you lost a few travelers along the way, and we had a similar experience recently, so we're quite curious about yours.
Oh, we didn't lose them, lassie. They were brutally murdered. It's quite different. They didn't stumble off in the woods. They were torn apart and ravaged. It was quite horrible, really. Yes, quite horrible.
Can you show us where they went missing?
Where? Off the road, in the woods somewhere. I mean, I just kind of got out of there once the body parts started flying.
Were you a day away or 2 days away from Everlook at the time?
Let me think. And he kind of is trying to put his head in, keeps looking down at his empty drink, and starts to
Marae hands him her drink that she wasn't going to drink.
Okay.
Will this help you clear your head, sir?
Just what I needed. Perfect. So he chugs down the drink and much better. Okay, I'm starting to be by myself. Okay. So, well, we were coming from Heinstead. Well, it's only 2 days, right? We had set up for camp on the first day, and it was rainy, so we didn't want to get downhill from the bog, so we went up deeper into the forest to the north. I would say we walked a good 2 hours north of the road, about a day's march from Heinstead, and that's where shit really hit the fan.
2
What
hours
do you mean?
north after. Okay.
So you guys know that it's about 2 days march from Everlook. So to Heinstead. So 2 days caravan. So about halfway through, they took refuge about a couple hours north of the road because there were some weather conditions that made them want to move into the woods.
And it was like before coming to a bog, right?
No, so the weather was making sort of the road boggy, so they didn't want to just camp
Okay.
in the sort of like
Okay.
the crap, so they moved uphill.
Okay.
into
So
the woods.
uphill 2 hours north after 1 day travel from Heinstead.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So they came from the north. Which way did we come from?
So if I'll show you here, because you guys will have an understanding of this. So if I look at the region map here, if I bring you guys over with me, okay, can you guys see the region map now?
Yes.
Okay, so Heinstad is, you guys were from here, and you followed this road here, and about here is where you guys found the cave, off to the road, sort of this way. Okay.
Okay.
Heinstad is here,
Right.
and this is about 2 days march. So you guys are about 5 days. They're about 2 days. They kind of feed off the lake here. So I would say from here, northish in this area here
Okay.
is where he's sort of describing the area. The other group that you guys were looking into came from Stolar down here. So the 3 caravans was one from here. You guys were from here, and the Stolar group was to the south.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Everything sort of feeds in. Like, you guys know this just generally from being in the area. Everything feeds into Everlook. Like,
Okay.
all these towns, everything basically here, if we even go like in the bigger region, sort of all of the everything to the sort of west of where you guys are sort of feeds into this, because there are no major port downs because the water's sort of real harsh down there and it's cliff spaced. So this sort of cove here has become the central sort of port city for most of the east and west areas. There's a couple smaller ports around, but Everlook seems to have become the biggest one because it feeds all the west, all the east.
Okay.
So now when you say that shit hit the fan, what do you mean by that exactly?
Oh, Lassie, you wouldn't want to be there. We were sleeping, and then people started falling apart, ripping these little things started burning people and biting people, and
Burning.
they were these little hopping things. I don't know how to describe them. They were tiny, and they burped, and then people just
They
started
have
dying.
horns or tails?
It was dark. They're just little fucking horrible things of death.
Did they look more animal or human?
They looked fucked up, Lassie. Like, not an animal,
Well-
not a human, just dark and evil as shit.
That kind of fits our theme.
Mm-hmm.
I'll thank the guy for his information. I'll pass him the rest of my ale. Not that
sort
there's
of-
much left, but
He sort of sits back and starts drinking again. Like he's seen some rough times and sort of.
We're sorry to bring up these memories, but we're hoping to at least get to the bottom of what happened and make the trail safe to travel again.
Well, let me give you some advice while you guys are leaving. Don't fucking deal with that shit. That shit's messed up. Just don't. I've seen a lot of shit on the road, but I've never seen people just ripped apart in their sleep by little things of death. Be careful.
Thank you,
If
sir.
you don't mind me asking before we go, how is it that you managed to survive?
So I was a little drunk and went to take a piss. And when I looked back, I saw the body parts flying and the little things dashing about, and I just got the fuck out. I didn't look back. I didn't get my stuff. I've got no money anymore. It's all in the caravan. That's all gone. I just left.
Can I insight that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I mean, he seems pretty. He looks pretty like shitty for a caravan driver. It's not a hard AC. He definitely looks like he's been sleeping in the same kind of clothes and has not really performed any kind of hygiene in the last, let's say, 2 to 3 days.
Murray slips him a gold on the way out. She feels bad for him. She just tells him to maybe invest in starting over again. But if the drink helps, who is she to? She's not going to judge him. Just do your best for yourself, sir.
He takes the gold and looks at you. His eyes kind of widen. He gives you a big smile and waves you guys all goodbye. Yeah, he sort of just starts to collect his things and gather, like he's trying to get out of there. And sorry, there's a little fruit fly. There's one fly. And I'm
one fruit fly.
I don't know why it's here, but it's bugging me. Yeah, so you guys make your way out. What are you guys doing now?
To the crow.
To the fabulous crow. So you head south, back to the main road. It's a little bit harder to find. It's down sort of around and off to the side. You do manage to find it. It takes you a good hour and a half, I would say, of sorry. A good half an hour or so to hour and a half, sorry, to make it down to and find the fabulous crow. Again, it's not the best establishment. As soon as you start to get this far south, you see it's starting to get a little bit more run down. There's burnt out buildings a little bit more. It seems like the crime rate has gone up. It's definitely not the greatest part of town. But you do find it. It's a sort of brownish sign with a crow with sort of like a crown on its head, drinking some ale. Doesn't make any sense. It's kind of cartoony, but it definitely...
It has the right ID.
Yeah. So you walk in again. This barkeep, again, shady spot. It's a little place, I would say, probably about 4 rooms upstairs. Pretty crappy sort of establishment, dirt floor. There's some group of guys, even though it's early, drinking and dicing in the corner, swearing at each other. There's about, beside the group dicing, I would say there's maybe the owner. That's about it.
Okay. Well, I go up to the owner and I ask about a traveling caravan that's come through.
You want some information? It'll cost you. Nothing's free in this place.
Were we given a name by the last when we were told to come here?
No, they just told you that they're the caravan. They heard that they were staying at this establishment. You didn't actually hear who it was and This was from Juth. He had just heard that they had complained to the City Watch that they had been attacked or something had happened on their way, and were asked to investigate.
Right.
What does the barkeeper look like?
So you see he's sort of an older guy, missing some teeth, again, balding, but shaved head, with a bit of a beard that's kind of yellow from like tobacco smoke and pipe. But, very simplistic place, like a couple kegs and there's a couple rooms upstairs, dirt floor. It doesn't look grimy, it just sort of looks like the place where, people of lower sort of money or well-to-do, you could get a room here probably what looks like dirt cheap, excuse the pun. Here.
Okay. I'm gonna lean over to Murray and say, if you give us the information, how about you can keep the rest of your teeth there? And try to intimidate him.
Okay, make me an intimidation check.
My other character that's good at intimidation, not this
19.
one.
Ooh.
I'll take the 19. That's fine.
Cool.
So you kind of impose and you sort of loom over him, and he sort of shakes back and he goes, listen, I'm not here for no trouble. I just this is how things work around here, but it's fine. I get your drift. Listen, there was a group. They came in. They stayed a night yesterday. They left town. They kept going on quite a bit about looking for their missing mates that had gone missing on the road. They were very sure that they wouldn't have just left. And that's all I heard. And I didn't want to get involved. And they took off back down to Stolar this morning, earlier today.
Oh my.
Vanguard,
You okay?
I think your mic was going a little crazy.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
Where did he say that they went to?
Back down to Stolar.
Back down to Stolar. So they basically, he gets the impression from what he overheard that they were very concerned for a friend of theirs and headed back down to Stolar, where he had perceived they had mentioned they came from.
How many of them were there?
There were two, a guy and a girl.
Just two.
Half elves, both of them. They looked young. Nothing too disconcerting about them. Travelers. One of them had a sword. Looked like he could use it. I tried to avoid those kinds of people. And the girl, well, she was dressed in a blue dress. I don't know. Blonde hair, both of them. That's all I know. Okay? So just, I've only got two good ones. Leave them there. And I'd appreciate it.
That's okay.
Your
Thank
teeth
you.
are safe, sir.
I'll
Okay.
have to take them out this time.
Begging your pardon.
This time.
If you don't need anything else, you see that the corner guys, the three guys in the corner that were Dyson, have sort of stopped and they're now looking at you guys. He goes, I'd make your way out.
We would hate to ruin. Yes, we'll be going. Thank you for your cooperation, sir.
Yeah.
As we leave, I'm going to look to the group and say, do you think we can still catch up to the ones that just left?
I think we should try. They're gonna get themselves killed.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, if they left early morning,
They would have 4 hours on you.
Did they have horses?
No. Not that I know. We don't have a stable here.
We've got a green horse.
Can people ride druids? I forgot to check that. Like, do you have to have the strength to be able to carry people, or do you inherit that from the shape change?
It kind of with the beast shape, I get all the physical qualities, but I keep all my mental qualities. So
Got it.
if I'm rideable, then
Yeah, you are.
I still don't think a standard horse could carry 2 Goliaths, a dwarf, a furbolg, and a halfling.
I definitely do
Maybe
not.
we just send one.
I don't think that was the plan. Just
We get a 1 hour cart.
Just send the horse.
Just the horse. Just send the horse by itself.
Hmm. Well,
We
without
can follow.
horses.
We can follow the 2 half elves. Maybe the camp up north is still there if we're looking for to investigate.
I don't know. I think we should go to the last inn and talk to Court.
There's 2 lives on the line here. They're pretty much going to their deaths at this point. From what we know of the cultists, they certainly won't spare them. And if they're only
Question
4 hours out,
They might already be.
Dead.
then
They might be.
Only one way to find out.
Split the party.
But look, maybe, we should just try to get everyone's opinion. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm for no with this plan.
We should at least ask them some questions.
They're 4 hours ahead.
On foot.
Yes.
Perhaps we can rent some horses and go after them.
And I mean, if we all get to sprinting, the shorter leg individuals will probably get left behind. Not to be insultive.
We dwarves are natural sprinters.
And I don't know about you, but I'm a monk. I am pretty good at sprinting. Thank you very much.
You can probably run faster than most of us.
What?
All of us.
I would think so.
I mean, I can turn into.
Why don't we see
Horse.
if
For
we
2
can
hours?
find some, there must be a rental, like a horse rental stable or something near the gates. We should hopefully be able to find something. If not, if we
Either
can't,
there or
then
the
we can
market.
turn back. Yeah, there has to be some. Can I turn in and ask the owner if he knows if there's a horse rental stable
No.
nearby?
Models is away at the moment. He needs a beer.
Oh no, I'm back. I'm back.
But he's muted still.
I'm here. I have a beer. I'm a power runner upstairs. It's all good. This is a citrus blonde. It's quite good, thank you. What do you need from me?
Can I turn it into the bar real quick and ask the owner about renting a horse in the nearby area?
Yeah, you can walk in, and he sort of looks at you, and he scowls.
One last question, sir.
Mm.
Horse rentals nearby.
They exist, yeah.
Where will I find them?
Out that way. Go down.
That way?
Close to the market. There's a bunch of horses. It's not going to be cheap, though.
Okay. Alright. I head out. I say thank you and I head out again. So he said near the market there are horse rentals for sure. If we can get horses, he said they might be expensive though, but if we can get horses, we can probably catch them.
Right?
And at the very least, we can see about finding out where they got lost.
Yeah.
Where the other members got lost anyways. So I am for going after the 2 half-elves.
Me too. If we can save their lives, might as well try.
I say if we can find some horses, I'm up for it. If we don't, then we can head out for court in the other inn.
Okay. Alright, so let's go to the market, find us some horses, and see how much it costs and if we can afford it. I think the majority of us are 4.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys are heading to the market?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you make your way to the market. It's about 2 o'clock now by the time you make it back from the Fabulous Grow up to the market there. Close to the market, not really right there off to the side there, you'll see sort of in this area here is a stable, which has a sign for a bunch of horses and things available. You could probably go and check in there. Looks like a place that has a bunch of horses.
Let's do it up.
While we're walking, I'm just gonna throw out the crocodile hide somewhere.
Okay.
Oh.
Perfect. Thank you.
Firebolt to burn it.
Maybe before we go riding off, maybe we should pick up some extra supplies. Just in case this gets really dangerous.
I'm for that too. If we're passing by the market anyway.
Well, we'll arrange for the horses, but please be back super soon. Like, we do need to get going. The longer we take, the further away they get.
That's fine. But just in case this is one obvious, you're gonna need a big horse for me.
Compensating.
All right, so I go into the stable, and I'm obviously like urgently looking for help because I'm like frazzled and everything. So I'm like, I just scream out like, "Can I get some help over here? We're in need of rentals."
What can I do for you, lass? It's a sort of younger, sort of half-elvish girl comes down. She's sort of wearing leathers and, she looks like she's well-to-do-ish. And you see there's a bunch of, I'd say about 12 to 15 horses in the stable. Horses, ponies, some mules, those kind of things.
We're in need of rentals ASAP. How much would it cost us to get our whole group outfitted? There's 7 of us.
One can be a horse, though, right? Oh wait, I guess not for 4 hours.
Not for 4 hours.
For 2 hours. If we take a rest, then but that would take
I
a
can
while.
share a horse with one of them, right? Because I'm small enough, right?
You could share a big horse with somebody who's small.
Yeah.
The dwarf.
So we need about 6 horses. 2 of them, or 3 of them, able to carry a good load.
Okay. 1 second. I'm trying to figure out how to do something. How do I respond to a whisper? How do I whisper?
/W space and then the player's name.
Thank you. Okay, so she looks around. She goes, "Well, typically when people are rushed, we don't get our horses back. So here's the deal. You look like good people. I run a business. Okay, so I'm gonna need 10 gold deposit per horse.
Per horse.
You get it back. Okay, it's 2 gold a day. That's 2 gold a night, I'd say. 1 day, 1 night. So get it back to me this time tomorrow, and it's 2 gold each horse. So we'll say 28 gold, all in, done. But you gotta leave me. You gotta leave me 70 gold. That won't cover the cost of replacing anything you guys are going. But at least I think it will motivate you guys to come back.
Wait, we're taking 6 horses, right? So it would be 60 gold, right?
Oh, you didn't say 7? I thought Macho was taking 1, 2.
I thought we were doing 7.
Yeah, 2 of us are gonna share a horse. Yeah.
Okay, so 2 like big horses. The 2 little wee ones are gonna double pack up.
Yeah.
Okay, 6 horses. Then yeah, that'll be okay. So 6 times 2, it'll be 12 gold at the end of the day, but 60 gold down.
Okay. Everyone willing to put the 10 up for their horse?
Fine for me.
I pull out
10,
3
yeah.
gold, and that's all I have.
Well, I'll cover the 7. Oh yeah, I'll cover the 7, and I'll pay half for mine with buckles.
Thank you. Right? I wouldn't mind me to pay you back.
For sure.
Okay.
My character sheet open. Okay. So that's 12 off of mine. Okay.
Oh wait, are we only paying for half a horse
Yeah.
each? Oh sweet.
Okay. Damn.
So, anything else you guys are doing before you guys take off?
Yeah. Who was going with me to the market?
I'll go. I need an herbalism kit.
I'll go as well.
I'll
I'll have
follow.
no money.
I have no money, but I'll follow.
Okay, so you guys have horses now?
Yep.
You head off to the market. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for an herbalism kit. Any place to get that?
Okay, this is a general store. There, you can probably pick it up for sort of standard price. Nothing to consider.
Okay. I guess the things I need. I guess 2 out of 3 of them I can get at a general store: a flute
5
and
gold.
a hairbrush.
5 gold, matcha. Yeah, a flute and a hairbrush.
And then the other thing is a dart gun with darts.
Okay, dart gun's pretty common. You can pick one of those up. What kind? Just a basic flute?
I don't know. Are there any unique options? I have to kind of juggle because I just dropped 10 gold on a horse.
It's. I mean, there's a lot of nice places. But let me see. I don't know if there's a dart gun. Yeah, I guess there's a. Okay, yeah.
Blowgun.
Yeah, blowgun would be the closest thing, really. Yeah, so the blowgun will put you back 10 gold. A standard flute would be 5 gold, so that'd be 15 gold.
Okay.
Plus, darts are 5 copper each, depending on how many you want to pick up.
Like how many things is it for? Like a bundle of shot?
So let's say it would be a dart is 5 copper, so I don't know, like 10. You get 50 darts for, or 20 darts for, let's say, a silver around.
Okay, I'll do that in 20 shots.
Okay.
Just a standard brush will be cool.
And a brush, yeah, you can get that for 10 silver. Sorry, yeah, like a metal brush or a wood brush. Like a comb.
Wood.
Yeah, I mean that's a couple copper, 5 copper.
Okay, can you just can you just put that down in the text box here so I can subtract it from my money? I'll just get all that. I have to talk to a taxidermist, well, a leather worker later.
Okay. Anybody else hitting anything up before you guys start chasing after these guys?
I'd like to see if there's like a leatherworks shop around, just for later.
Yeah, there definitely is. You can find all of those things around here. You find so yeah, there's definitely a leather shop nearby. It's actually one of in this market there's sort of a permanently established smithery and not smithery but sort of like a crafter of goods, and there's a leather sort of clothing shop / armor place that's more traditional. Again, they're more of like not the metal armor type there as well.
Okay. I'd like to look at the name and try to remember where it is.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to remember. It's one of the bigger buildings in the market. It's just listed as leather goods. It's a pretty straightforward sign. It's a sort of like a big inside building. Most of the market stuff is tent stuff. This is one of the permanently established places. You feel like you could come back and find this place at any given time. This place will be here pretty permanently.
Okay.
Yeah. looks like the core stuff, like general goods, like leather goods, weapons, those kind of things, have established places around here. And the pop-up shop seems to be for more niche items and things that people bring in from out of town, like food, goods, and handcrafts, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Anybody else? Anything else?
No, I'm good to get going.
Okay. So you guys head off. You know that they're heading sort of west, so you guys would cross the sort of square, head out of town. Now heading east. So what's your marching order and what's your pace like?
I'll
say
take the
we're
lead.
probably going quickly.
Yeah, we're probably going at a pretty brisk pace, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stick somewhere in the middle.
I'll bring up the rear.
I guess I'll go in the front.
I'll go right behind them.
Well, you have to go in the front with me if we're
Yeah,
on the
you
same
do.
horse.
That's true. All right.
I'll take one of the sides.
Yeah, it's a pretty big road. You guys don't all have to be single file. You guys can be spread
Yeah.
up in a clump. Okay. Who's navigating?
Sounds good.
I will.
Okay. And is anybody keeping watch or taking a look as you guys are going?
Yeah, I'll keep my eye
Yeah.
out for potential danger.
All right.
I'll watch like behind us. Make sure there's nothing coming out of there.
And is everyone else just sort of riding? Are you guys like looking for these elves? Like, what do you guys do? The rest of you. Just going.
Can I roll for perceptions?
If you're keeping an eye out, you will be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending what you're looking for, though.
I guess I don't know, some noticeable tracks or patterns of movement.
Okay, so you're looking for like the people. See if they come by. You're looking for these people, then. Yeah.
Any
Okay.
sign of them.
Any sign of these people. Cool. So you head off. You make your way to town. The town guards don't give you too much of a problem. You get to about, I'd say, an hour, and whoever's looking out, make me a perception check with disadvantage because you guys are moving at a brisk pace.
Can I cast guidance on myself?
Same here.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to make one as a navigator, or should it be making like a survival check?
Make yourself a survival check, my Ray.
Disadvantage as well?
Yeah, because you're moving quickly.
Alright, let's hope for the best.
Look at you guys. High rollers. I'm going to Vegas with you all. Okay.
Guidance, baby.
So in terms of like being lost, you guys stay on the road. It's a pretty big road. The DC is pretty easy to follow the road. It's not that hard. In terms of looking around and seeing what's going on, halfway through the second hour, Dalen notices a trail that looks like it was recently disturbed. He sort of, as you're riding by, you see some of the grass that doesn't look like an animal path. It looks like people were actually recently disturbed a bunch of grass, because typically the wind would sort of bring it back under gear. It looks like somebody recently went through here and cut through the grass and sort of headed off the road.
All right. I'm just gonna yell out to everyone. That way, that grass doesn't look though it's been flattened by animal movement.
Alright, let's go.
So, are you guys going to continue down this trail at the same speed, or are you slowing down to sort of try to track these things down?
Slow it down a bit. I mean, it kind of means we like kind of getting to a point where there probably are. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normal pace.
Mm-hmm.
be more cautious.
Okay, so who's taking the lead again? Same marching order. Okay, so Mari, make me another survival check, please. Actually, make me a perception check at this point, as you're trying to sort of track these down. Okay, so you follow the path pretty regularly, and you guys are following it. Sort of, it starts to head off towards the woods, and all of a sudden you notice some figures sort of hiding in the shades. You can't really make them out too sure, but about 150 yards into the woods, they definitely notice something that looks like a person sort of hiding in there.
I put my hands out to help like the group, and I call out. I'm like, whoever's out there, show yourself. We mean no harm. And I do my best to be as friendly as possible if I can.
Okay. So you sort of yell out, and it's kind of quiet, and then you see a younger, sort of elvish, half elvish male, blonde hair, sort of step out of the woods cautiously. He's got his sword. He's got a double-handed sort of broadsword in his hands. He's looking at you guys. He goes, "Why are you guys following us? What's going on?"
We are investigating missing people from caravans. We encountered a cult as we were on the road ourselves, and we were told that there were two groups that met probably similar fates. And then we heard you guys had gone out. So we rushed down here to your aid.
They tried to kill us last night. They might be trying to kill you too.
I don't think they care for survivors.
This is true.
Who gave you
Busters.
Who gave you our name? Who told you we were coming out this way? How did you know where to find us?
The guard Juth told us that you were at the Fabulous Crow, and of course we showed up there this morning and found that you were 4 hours out when we arrived. We wish we could have gotten to you sooner, but obviously we didn't know you would come trek this way again after what happened.
And what did you need to know so dearly that you raced off to find us?
Not that we needed to know, more that we were concerned.
Concerned
Hi,
about
there have
us?
been people dying out in these parts.
Why does roll a persuasion to make the guy, more, she'll know we're just actually there for that reason?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's the first time I've ever rolled low on that.
Yeah, so he definitely, based on what he was sort of hearing before and what he's there, he doesn't look like he's trusting you. He hasn't put his sword away. He's definitely very cautious at this point. He doesn't know what to do. I mean, yeah, you guys just kind of showed up.
We hear you were traveling with a woman as well. Where did she go? Is she all right?
Don't worry about her. I don't know why you want to know where my sister is. Large group of people showing up looking for my sister in the middle of the woods. This doesn't seem...
We're trying to help you. This doesn't need to come to blows. Just tell us why. Tell us what happened. Tell us why you left in such a hurry.
So he kind of looks around and takes a deep breath and goes, "Listen, my sister and I and a group of friends hitched a ride with some merchants on the way from Stolar to Everlook. Halfway through, we woke up and our friend was gone. They made jokes. They said that he must have run off, but we've been friends with him since we were little, and he wouldn't have run off. He wanted to see Everlook. They wouldn't stop, and we're just the two of us, and they made us finish our journey, but we just couldn't sleep knowing that he was out here somewhere. So that's the truth of it."
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
Yeah.
Alright.
Nice.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's telling the truth. He seems kind of shaken. His voice is shaking as he talks when he starts to mention his friend's name. He definitely looks distraught, out of whack, not used to this kind of thing.
How far is he away in the woods right now?
About, let's say, 90 feet right now. So you guys had seen about 120 feet, and as you sort of got a little bit closer, he stepped out about 20 feet out from
Okay.
the
I'm
woods.
just gonna move my horse like about 20 feet closer. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna put everything back on the horse and just come out with my hands open and just walk forward. Look there, we just want to help you. You look like you're in a bit of distress. I'm a healer of sorts. I can heal you. I can help you if you're in any sort of trouble. Please, we're not here for anything but to assist.
So he looks at you, sees you're unarmed, and doesn't put away his sword, but he kind of puts it back in the scabbard, and you take closer, and he kind of just takes a deep breath and just kind of shrugs at this point, and kind of just doesn't want to say collapse, but his shoulders sort of roll in, kind of like this defeated look of a man who sort of didn't succeed at protecting his friend, and just kind of his head sort of sags a bit, and he sort of takes a deep breath as you get closer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna step closer, and probably about 15 feet, 10 feet. I'm just gonna stop there and just say, look, it seems the woods are much bigger than all of us put together. Perhaps the rest of us could help you look for your friend.
All of you would do that. I don't have any money. I can't really help. I can't really pay you. Those jerks at the thing took everything for the trip.
Well, if he has anything to do with this demonic business in this region, it'd probably be able to talk to him would be a good thing. I look at the rest of the group.
I do not need your money. I am more worried about your friend and stopping this from happening to anyone else.
See?
Yes, we've seen what can happen in these woods.
Okay, so he takes a deep breath, and he goes, so here's the thing. We were about a day's journey outside of Everlook when we camped. He disappeared. We found tracks that went off into this wood, and then we lost him. And I mean, lost him. I've tracked hare and bison all my life, and I've never just seen a track disappear. I know he's somewhere in these woods. I just don't know where to look.
Well, what does your friend look like?
He is a younger, brown-haired half-elf, dressed similarly to me. We're from the same town. His name is Darlin. And
okay. Just give me a moment, everybody. I'll just ask around if anybody's seen anything like that. And I'll head over to the nearest tree. I put my hand on it, like, hey, bro, look, have you heard of this? And I start describing the halfling through the tree and everything. Like, have you seen anybody pass this way? And I'll just kind of like wait for a response.
Do you have tree speak?
Yeah.
I thought so. Yes. So you kind of wait for a bit in the trees. You see this breeze pass through the trees as it kind of looks like they're discussing it amongst themselves, and
he's just nodding there, just like arms folded, looking. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you wait, and about 5 minutes go by, and then you sort of make out the tree tell you that all you humans kind of look the same. But
this is no human. He was much shorter.
all you humanoids look the same. But there was a group that his brother told him about, that sort of saw some people the night before heading off into the woods with a package.
Can I ask which direction?
He tells you the direction where the sun rises. I'm not very good at sort of land masses because he's never really moved from here.
Sun rises in the
West.
West for you guys?
I don't know.
It's different on my continent, so I don't know about you guys.
No, it's always the same.
Yeah, it's always the same. I'm just trying to like think. 'Cause,
So-
like I don't even know.
It's
I don't
always
know.
the same.
Don't.
It's just like the toilets in Australia flow the same way. It's all good. Sun rises in the east, sets in the west.
Sets in the west, right?
Circle.
I
Same
don't
thing
do
on
circles very well.
same thing on this place. So yeah,
Okay,
so you,
what about
basically
triangle
you
girl?
get the gist that it's east northeast from where you're standing, and based on his trees, you're used to talking with trees at this point, so his analogies of perspective on life is you're used to dealing with that. So you get the feeling that he'd say it was far, but not too far. Is where his brother saw them.
I'll just turn to the rest of the group and look. The three brothers have spoken, and they said they've noticed something in that direction. I think we should have a look at it.
Should we stay our horses here?
Perhaps not. It would not be safe for them. Right, horsey?
I just worry if we bring them too close to where whatever these people are, they might. This seems pretty like a chill area of the woods right now. Like there's no caravans coming through, so they have no reason to pass through here. I don't want to lose our deposits, honestly.
But I don't want to lose the horses in the middle of the woods by themselves either.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel safer if they were together with us. At least anything were to happen, I could be there to help them.
Okay. Well, let us move forward for now. But if it gets sketchy, it might be best to stay them somewhere a little closer to where we're going.
Okay.
All right. So, as with our cultists, we were able to discover them from Buckholz's help with the magic. So maybe if we get a little closer, you might be able to track them. Do you think?
I'll do my best.
I should probably let you guys know this. I can apparently cast detect magic at will
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
without
All
using
right.
a spell slot.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, for rogue as well.
Oh shoot, I can actually do that too, but ritually. So never mind.
Well, let us get closer in the direction the trees told us of, and then we can have a few of us, you guys, help us out. Because I doubt there will be a lack of magic where the cultists are.
I'm gonna speak to the guy, and just be like, "Do you have anything of your friends that maybe we can use to sniff out?"
No, he disappeared without a trace. All of his stuff was gone. But I mean, he did make. He pulls out this sort of hunting knife and goes, "He did make this for me, if that's what you mean."
That might help. I'll keep that in mind. Totally gonna sniff that shit.
Okay, so what do you guys do? You head in the direction where it's there? What do you guys do?
We should cautiously move towards the direction the trees told us about, I think.
So,
Is that good with everyone?
Yeah.
as you start to make your way towards there, he whistles twice, and out of the brush, this other elf sort of comes with you, and they start to they talk amongst themselves quietly, and they start to sort of follow you from a distance. They realize you guys are looking for them. They're not sort of joining the group, if you will. They're sort of just kind of following behind to see what you guys do, very cautiously.
Okay.
So you make your way. It takes you. What's up?
So they're gonna walk behind. Are we riding the horses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for making them walk.
It's fine. You don't have extra horses.
I don't know. Can my horse potentially hold someone else?
No, not with your weight. No.
Fair enough. I'm a big boy.
I mean, they walked out here to begin with, so if it really bugged them, they would have.
It depends on the pace you guys are setting, right? Like they can
Well,
walk.
we're
They can
taking
walk
a cautious
alongside.
pace.
Yeah, so they can walk
Yeah,
alongside
pretty
you.
slow.
Yeah, they have no issues keeping up, right? Like they're pretty. They seem like they have a good grasp of the footing in the woods, so they seem to be keeping up without a problem with your horses.
Perfect.
So you take about 30 minutes to sort of head in the direction of where Darlene spoke. Darlene heard from the trees that they were going. Make a who is sort of leading the way.
I will if that's what's preferred. I can do that.
Okay, so make a perception check for me.
Perception.
Probably be right behind your horse just to tell you kind of like where the trees are telling us to go.
Okay.
Sure.
Perfect.
So, I mean, that's enough. You get about 20 minutes in and you notice that there's, I wouldn't say signs of people going by, but you definitely look like something was dragged here, and it kind of coincides with what you make sort of, you kind of perceive like what the trees told you and what you're looking for. This looks like somebody had been dragging something through here.
Okay. So I point that out to everyone, and I say it looks like we're on the right track.
Okay. So you're gonna follow the tracks?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you head further into the sort of wooded area. It starts to get a little bit thicker, and another half an hour in, you see sort of a small lake, and that's about what you can make out from here. The sort of trail ends looks like it goes sort of into the sort of where the water sort of gets narrow. There's like a little 2-foot drop off into the water, and it's not a big lake by any means, but it sort of looks like that's where the trail ends.
So like the trail ends, like can I see it like a little bit under the water as like if it's like keeping going, or
No, even if it was under the water, it would be disturbed by the water by now. So, even with like that good of a perception check, it ends there for sure. Maybe they got on a boat, maybe they sort of swam. Who knows? But that's where the sort of trail ends.
I think this would be a good time for some magical detection.
Okay, cast attack.
Are there any animals nearby, by the way?
I mean, there's general critters and stuff like that. It's not quiet. It seems to be a natural forest.
Same thing. Dalen's gonna get up and go around and ask the animals in the trees and the grass.
Yeah.
So,
We're
Okay.
gonna like spend some time talking.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
everyone has a-
both of you making me an investigation check in terms of the animal talking.
Okay.
what's your investigation? Should I just assist you? Because mine is like 1.
Yeah, assist him. If you give assist him, he rolls the advantage.
Yeah. I'll assist you and give you Sylvanus' guidance as well, so you get to roll.
Okay,
That's
so
a
an
D4?
11 plus a D4. Yeah.
Alright.
14.
14.
Okay. So you get a general list from the wildlife that while they didn't see it themselves, somebody had been through here, and it looks like they got on a boat and headed off. And they, there was a small sort of. They described what you would assume to be a boat, a wooden sort of, looked like a small rowboat maybe or something, nothing huge. And they get the gist from these guys that they smelled off and they didn't stick around too close to see what was happening. The animals and the birds and stuff were not too keen on sticking around the people, but they did see 2 people carrying something with him on the boat.
Okay. And you guys relay that to us, right?
Oh yeah. Just be like,
Oh, yeah.
they took a boat. Something with.
So if they took a rowboat, they didn't go very far.
No, you can see it's about I would say it's about a kilometer wide lake. It's not like I said, it's not a huge body of water, but it's a decent like it's not a pond where it's like 20 feet. Like,
Do the animals know whether they went straight across or like diagonally? Or...
that wouldn't be something that an animal would pick up on, right? Like, it would be
Oh, okay.
they got on a boat and they smelled funny, so we got the fuck out kind of deal.
All right. So, but if we just went around the pond for now, we get to go to the other side and check out if there's any tracks over there, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you think about it, it's a kilometer wide, so that's, let's say, a 5-kilometer diameter around the lake. If you're investigating that, it would take you a couple hours to sort of make your way around and try to track it out if you want to do that.
I don't think we have any other options, do we?
No.
Yeah, no one brought a boat with them, did they, in their back pocket?
That'd be
I can
nice.
swim through the water. I can breathe underwater, but I don't know if I'm okay with going.
It's
Make
best
a
if we stay as a group. I mean, probably would take us just as long to make a raft as it would to just go.
To swim?
Murray's not much of a swimmer, just say.
I just think swimming won't beat a rowboat, that's all. So probably should take the horses around.
Yeah, we probably should take the horses with us and just go around.
Okay.
Seems like the best option.
So we'll say 5 kilometers. You guys are all hardy adventurers who are used to walking. It's not a thick forest. We'll say that takes you about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Okay, just like walking around it. Make me investigation check as you. Are you investigating, or are you just looking around? Are you like looking for details and taking a really thorough time, or are you looking around and walking at a good pace?
Well, so I was thinking if they got on a rowboat, they probably weren't going somewhere within the first 2 to 3 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe after that point, I would start actively looking for tracks and stuff.
Okay, so make me a perception check, and then we'll make a second investigation. So the first half of the lake we'll do with a perception check, and the second half we'll do with an investigation on the second half.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope, I don't see shit.
I mean, lots of birds, some poo.
Around this time, I want to use wild shape to turn into a master, like the ones they fought.
Like a what?
So, what?
The mastiff, like one of the mastiffs that they fought.
Like one of the dogs that they had with them, right? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, good.
But before I do so, I'm going to call out to the half elf, and I'm just going to say, like, do you still have that knife on?
He looks at it and he goes, "Yeah."
Hold it out for me, but hold it a little low.
Okay. And he sort of does that.
Yep. I'm going to wild shape right in front of him and just start sniffing that bit.
Okay. Does that give you tracking?
I think so. I have keen smell. That much I know.
Okay. So for the second half, you can roll the investigation check with advantage for that. I'll give you that. So
Who's gonna make the roll?
Macho's gonna make the roll because he's
Make the roll, okay. Advantage.
he's using his dog nose.
Okay, perfect.
So you definitely pick up a scent, and it definitely smells familiar. I'd say about 3/4 of the way through the lake, you you find another trail that heads off into, again, another cave.
I'm gonna stay in shape, but like every time we follow it, like in a new direction, I'm gonna just like point, like classic cartoon.
Okay.
Perfection.
So you do get to, in about let's say an hour to travel, there is another cave here. Unlike the first one you saw that had people manned outside, this one doesn't look lit up. It's dark. It's in sort of a rock cropping, and instead of being a cave on the side of a cliff, it's sort of a hole that sort of goes into the ground. There's some boulders that look like they were around it, and it sort of goes off into this area.
Around this time, I just changed back and I let them know that that's the last place I.
Well,
Should tie the horses out here. Move in.
yeah. I find it hard to believe they're not down there. Let's do that.
Sure.
Just gonna look towards the two
Yes.
half elves and like, would you like to stay here? The cave looks pretty dangerous.
If our friend is down there, we'll come down there as well.
All right. Well,
Alright.
you guys want to sneak down there?
We should probably do that.
All right. Then everyone get within. Just come up to me. We'll huddle, cuddle, and I'm going to cast.
Nice.
Just have. Right, so that's
Alright.
plus 10 to stealth checks
Yep.
that we make.
Sweet.
Very nice. Okay. So you head down into this cave. Again, it looks like a very natural cave. There, like it's been here for a while. Definitely not a new structure. It's very dark. So first of all, before you guys get too far into the cave, it starts to get really dark. Who has dark vision here? Not many.
Oh,
of
I
you.
do.
So, Saren and Buckles, I think, are the only two, right? Are you-
Give him a high five.
Dalen's gonna light the torch.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pull
I'm
out
gonna
my
let
hooded lantern.
I'll just follow where everyone else is. Or that
Yeah,
torch.
I'm gonna follow that light.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can definitely see this cave. It looks like it looks natural as you start going down, and it's not too wide. I'd say you could fit about one or two people. Narrow. It's pretty narrow. You couldn't get a horse through the opening, and it's very dark. It's rock all around. You go deeper and deeper into this cave, and you hit sort of a point where after about 5-10 minutes of walking, the cave opened up, and it's very similar to the last cave you saw. Instead of being a natural cave, now it seems like it's a carved, worked surface. It's large. You can't see very far even with the lantern light and the torch light, but it's like it goes from being this sort of narrow pathway to this big open room, and there's an odor in the air of I would say sulfur, and also something else. It smells maybe foul and rotten and not good.
Does it smell like the crocodile pelt?
A little bit.
Oh.
Hmm. Somebody else has been skinning crocodiles in here.
Let's hope it's just crocodiles.
So what do you guys do?
Is there anything like, so there's not much in this room right now, right?
You can't see very much. The room opens up. It's very dark.
Right.
For the dark vision people, you're seeing about 60 feet. The room goes on past 60 feet, right? So it's dark. The torchlight's going to
I'm
give you
gonna let
about
the
30
people
feet of perception there.
I'm gonna sneak in ahead of the torchlight. I'm gonna pull out Rogue and let him do a little bit of sniffing around.
Perfect.
Okay. So you're going to send him off?
Yeah, I think he gets the keen senses as well.
Yeah, he does. He was in the circle, so. And he gets your pass without a trace, I think, as well.
Or does he?
Mm-hmm.
So long as he's within 30 feet of me when he does it.
Yeah. So,
Oh, right. Oops. So, I'm gonna have him go stealth out, little rogue. There we go. Damn.
Damn.
The
Damn.
invisible.
Okay.
Damn.
Wow.
So, are you looking through his eyes as you're doing this?
Yes. And smelling through his nose.
Okay. So he makes it, I would say, about 90 feet, and he sees what looks to be a pile of corpses.
Oh,
I would say there's what he can make out as 3 distinct corpses there.
All right. How does it smell like they've been dead for a long time?
Yeah, it definitely smells like they've been dead for about a day. Just starting to puff up, you know.
I think we found what we're looking for. Shh.
Okay. So are you heading out? Is everybody going?
Wait, to see the bodies?
Yeah. What do you guys do?
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
guys.
so
Still
Yeah.
gonna stealth it out though. Yeah.
All right, so you make your way over. You guys can all make me stealth rolls with +10.
okay. Hold on, let me just check the sheet.
33. My God.
You and the torch just disappeared.
He's holding the
You see a
torch.
floating torch.
Literally,
You see a floating torch.
Should this be 23 for me?
that'd be 22. Do you,
got 28.
Jack of all trades.
Nice.
cool. So you guys make it there. Nothing seems to perceive you as far as you're aware. And you get there, and once the torchlight sort of shines, you get about 30 feet away, and the torchlight shines on these corpses. The people with night vision see this a little bit farther away. You see one corpse held down with a dagger in its chest, and then you see 2 other sort of more piles of flesh that look like they were torn apart. But they're both dead too.
Like, what did they look like they were torn apart by?
Get closer and make me an investigation check.
Oh, what? Sorry?
Investigation.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, so 15. So you can see that they look like they were torn apart by something with claws, some kind of large beast of sorts. Rip them apart. You also notice on the corpse with the dagger in it that there is a carved symbol, which looks familiar. It's a symbol of a triangle. Sort of like a square, like a circle with like a triangle bottom in it, and sort of these 2 other branching sort of marks on his chest.
Is that like the symbol that we saw?
It's not necessarily the ones that you saw before were like infinity, like the sideways 8. This looks similar to that, but it's not connected at one end, and it's got a line through it down the middle. So it's kind of got like imagine if you have like a figure 8 with a line down the middle, and the top of the 8 doesn't connect, so it's open. And there's yeah, so it's in a giant sort of triangle carved onto his chest with the dagger right through the middle of that.
And is it a half elf by any chance?
It is, and as soon as you see the 2 elves look over and start to sniffle. They run up and they grab this corpse by the head, and they just start crying, holding it, and they're sort of distraught and don't really know what to do.
Ray's like, I'm so sorry for your loss.
And they're just having their moment right now, and they're just sort of in it. And they look over and they say, "Thank you. At least we know what happened to him."
At least we can give him a proper burial now, like friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they take the dagger
You
out.
might want to go do that outside.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll
take-
We'll grab the bodies outside.
take care of this. We'll take care of our friend. We'll be back.
Can I hold my hand out for the dagger?
Yeah. So they give you the dagger, and they start heading back to go bury their friend up there. You take a look. What's up?
Oh, is he the only one with the symbol, or the other corpses?
The other two corpses are mangled and scarred. So they're the ones. So the three corpses, two of them look like they're just kind of torn apart, and then there's one that was sort of like tied down with the dagger in his chest.
So I guess we should maybe move forward. Maybe the cultists are still here.
Take a look, yeah, if you want to.
Or at the very least, we can maybe sabotage their next, their tables and shit, so they can't do their next ritual.
Okay, just gonna very quickly cast detect magic in this cave and just see what we can find.
So you cast detect magic. You don't detect any magic objects. You get a feeling that there's a residue of magic that has dissipated, and now it's too weak to detect, but it definitely looks like something powerful was cast here, and you get a faint residue, but you can't really get a grasp on what that is, but something definitely did happen here.
All right, I'll let the rest of the group know something happened here.
I don't think we're gonna find any cultists today. I feel like they were probably part of those merchants, much like our group had a merchant that set up the caravan. Our best bet might be go back to Everlook and see about maybe getting a part of the next group out. They'll have to return this way, won't they? They'll probably call for help or offer, travel to other people. It's their running scam. But of course, we better fuck shit up here.
Cave.
Yeah, absolutely. We should definitely fuck shit up here, but I think our best bet to actually get them is to see about the next group traveling out this way.
Are we gonna go in further to find the table or whatnot?
Yeah. But then I think back to Everlook afterwards.
Okay. So you guys want to make a sweep for the rest of the area?
Yeah.
Okay. So make another investigation check for me with advantage. Whoever is doing it will say you guys are all helping each other out, but one person has to roll.
My investigation is 0, so if somebody else wants to do it,
I have a +5.
well
Okay.
then you do it.
You.
Yeah, you are the one.
Guided
You are the chosen
as
one.
well.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. I got it.
Okay.
One more time.
With advantage.
Roll
So
with
one more time.
advantage.
With advantage, yeah.
Sorry.
And then add a D4.
Yes.
24, yeah.
Okay.
Can I add a D4?
Yeah.
Let's just overkill it.
Sure. 27.
Whatever.
So you guys Sarah, and you have dark vision, right? You have a really good grasp of what's going on here, and you're looking around. The cave again looks not natural. It looks like it's very old. Does not look like this is a natural shape. This looks like it was shaped in some way, although you're not too sure by what. You go around, you don't find anything else. You do notice there's some I would say some markings and some etches on the cave that look to be similar to what you saw previously on that paper when you looked at all those little runes that were around the triangle, but nothing too specific. There, you make a full investigation. You're being super thorough. You don't find an altar this time, and you don't find any other creatures and random shit around.
Can
It's
I
pretty
read
empty.
The scripture on the wall?
You can take a look. Most of it looks pretty worn. This isn't as nice of a cave as the last one you guys were in. This one definitely looks a little bit more run down, a little bit smaller, not as massive or as in scope or as well developed as the other one for sure.
But would I be able to decipher it?
It's not writing, right? So it's a bunch of symbols. It's like demonic. It's not demonic writing or anything. It's just like a bunch of symbols that you have recognized. So like there's I would say, you can make out like there's a circle with a line in it. There's a moon. There's the infinity symbol shows up. Something that looks like a hammer. A lot of those symbols that you saw on this piece here. So if I bring this out, you can see it.
Okay, definitely gonna write these down.
So take a look. Are you seeing this? Yeah. Okay. So see this. This is a sheet you guys had found the other day. Are you seeing that right now? So you pick off the symbols that are around the edges, like the infinity symbol, the like these kind of things all around it. You can find some of these on the walls, like this one here. And like this one, and like this one, and the moon are throughout the cave. But the writing stuff, like the stuff that's sort of in here, this little small writing here, you're not seeing the demonic writing anywhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I guess I relay all that to the group.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Do you think we can move the boulders from the front to block the entrance? As I say, as we're leaving.
How heavy do they look?
And they're big, but I mean, you guys are pretty fucking strong.
Right, I'll try to move some of them.
Okay, make me a strength check. Well, make me a
3 mini dice.
make me an athletics check with yeah, we'll do athletics.
I'll assist if you need to.
Oh, that's enough. Like, they're big boulders, but you can definitely like push one over. Like, it's not like a fine door or anything like that, but you can definitely like block off the cave if, like, without it being very easy to sort of get back in.
Okay, cool.
Okay. When you guys get out of the cave, you see the two elves there. They've made a little rock pile, sort of buried their kin. They wave as you guys get close, and they look to all of you and they say, "Thank you so much for helping us find Darlin. This is not what we had hoped, but at least we know what happened to him. We're going to be heading back to our home. This is too much for us." What's up?
I have a question for you. How did you arrange travel through these merchants?
We had heard that the roads were getting dangerous. There was a merchant passing through who was offering travelers if they wanted to pay a lift.
And they just were asking around your town?
As they're passing through, we
through.
mingled through. Everyone was looking at their wares, looking what they had to see if there was stuff to sell, and they mentioned that if anybody needed to some extra protection on their way to Everlook, that they could tag along for a cost.
Did they mention whether they would be going back towards your area? Were they offering return trips?
No, not that we're aware of. Again, we had only talked to them for, about 5 days travel, and they kind of kept to themselves, really.
Did you manage to get a name from the person you were speaking with?
Or description? Anything?
I remember there was some kind of, I don't know. They worked for some kind of R-Line or something industries, and that's all I can really remember. I mean, the main
R-Line Industries.
That was what was on the side of one of the wagons, but it was.
Well, the person you spoke to was a human.
Yeah, it was a human. He wasn't too old, maybe a little bit older than us, kind of worn, travel ridden. What's his name? I remember now. It was inconsequential. It was like Ian, maybe. Yeah, Ian. Human. He was the one that was really sort of talking to people. Merchanty type. Kind of well-to-do.
Perfect. Well then, we hope to get revenge for you and the other sorry souls that ended up in those caves. We are sorry that we couldn't be of much help, but we're glad that your friend can now lay and rest.
Well, thank you. And we will take our leave. All the best. Yeah.
Well, before they go and do that, I get down on my knees and I just basically say in Elvish, which is a language I'm proficient in, may you go and like find spirit and peace as you go through like whatever common gods elves worship,
Sure.
as you move on to the next plane.
And they nod at you, wave their thanks, and head off into the woods. Okay. It's
we killed him.
at this point now. I'll say it's starting to get dark. So you spend let's say 2 hours traveling in the afternoon. Now it's probably around 7 at this point. Are you guys going to camp for the night, or are you guys going to head back to?
Can we like do like a short rest and then like head back out and make it back in time for like the day's rent on the horses? Or
So you have until tomorrow to return the horses at no extra cost.
okay, so if we did a long rest and let the horses rest, we'd be fine to make it back in time for just the day's rent.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are about 2.5 hours outside of the city on a horses ride,
Then
so
let's do that.
you're not too far out, but it is getting dark, so it'd be harder to navigate and more of risk if you didn't do.
Yeah, and I want to give the poor horses a rest. We ran them pretty hard to get where we were going.
Okay. So we're going to do a long rest then. Anything else you guys want to do before you head out? You set up a fire, set up a camp, set up a...
Can I forage for my meal for tonight?
Can I look for any medicinal herbs or anything for my herbalism kit?
Yeah, make me a medicine check. Make me a survival check.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay, roll me 1 to 6, Mari.
1d6.
Perfect.
So
So
I
you
want to make a health potion with my herbalism kit. How long would that take?
Okay.
yeah, it's normally like if you're proficient with it, it would be
Downtime. It's a day.
yeah, it's about a day.
Okay. I'll wait till downtime then.
Yeah, so like you'd have to be focusing on only that, right?
Yeah, for a day. 25. Cool. Yeah. So do I find any herbs?
Yeah, you definitely find let's say 2 or 3 batches. Roll me a 1d6 for me.
Oh man.
That's fine. It's just
One batch.
yeah. You find no. So you find you're gonna find 3 batches of common sort of medical herbs that would be good at stabilizing someone who is down. So you have 3 batches of herbs that would help stabilize somebody if knocked.
Very nice.
And I got like some good amount of food, right?
5 rations worth.
Alright.
You down, let's say, 2 rabbits, enough for 5 people to eat.
Alright. Well, I cook up my portion and I cook up the rest of the rabbits, so if anyone wants to eat some rabbit tonight, you're free to.
I'll take that.
Cool.
I'll just choose to eat from my day ration. And since the bard can,
I'll take a
basically
rabbit.
start off with 3 proficiencies with instruments, can I just get flute added to my proficiency? And
Yeah.
say I've been practicing on that.
We'll say that over the course of the next 2-3 weeks, you can probably be proficient in it. Or did you want it from before? Did you want a retroactive to do it? Like, what are your other 2? Did you want to replace it, or how did you not pick?
I was just saying from the In a player's handbook, it says I can start off with 3 instruments, but I only chose 1.
Yeah, so you can pick that as retroactively. That's fine.
Okay.
So you're proficient in flute. Write it down. That'll be one of your 2 3s. And pick your other one. So just so it's clear, and then we get.
Let's see.
You next week. By next week, have it picked so that way we know the 3 that you've practiced. Sure. Okay.
All right.
Cool. So anybody doing anything else before we crash for the night?
I'd like to have my character read through his book.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend the night with the just with the horses, relaxing with them, telling them what's gonna happen in the...
Cool. Awesome. So unless anybody else has anything else?
I just want to ask Dalen if he can teach me how to speak to rocks.
Say, you mean none of you can speak to them? It's very simple. You just have to listen very quietly and intently for when they respond. Look,
Pick
and
up
I'll
a
just
rock.
speak to and I'll just say, look, he's saying something right now, and I just put it through your ear.
What
hear
is
that?
he saying? What do you
Say,
hear?
hello. Nice to meet you.
Hello?
You definitely hear nothing, but it's cold under your ears, so that's something.
The rest of the night, I'm just gonna be trying to talk to this rock.
Yeah, just keep trying, just keep listening, and eventually it'll work.
Good stuff. All right.
It took me 100 years, but I eventually got there.
Well,
Very good. Okay, so we're gonna take a long rest. We're gonna camp down for the night. We're gonna call it for that point for today,
Okay.
and we will pick this up next Tuesday, friends.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Thanks everybody we had some people watching. We had 2 people watching.
Oh my goodness.
We have an
fun.
audience.
We always have an audience.
Hi, world!